more central bank digital currencies and everything we're seeing right now. One word that is actually an old phrase that has kind of resurfaced is the whole concept of modern monetary theory. Yeah. And modern monetary theory is the concept of taking, and there's different forms, and we see quite a lot of this with the global reset and different forms of things that are being debated. But the concept of merging the Federal Reserve and the Treasury's balance sheet, since Biden has actually been elected, you know, the insiders from the Federal Reserve are now working at Treasury.
Janet Yellen, the first move. It's like chess, isn't it? Watching them get the Fed into the government.
Exactly, yeah. At the same time, we have these over-leveraged banks that either a few of them manage to sell enough of the toxic assets to your pension so that they're in an okay position. But the vast majority of them, and the reason why Warren Buffett was dumping most of his banking stocks during the pandemic, is because of their over-leveraged situation and their susceptibility to black swan and systemic risk events. Because all it takes is one little blip that triggers off a credit card crisis or a student loan crisis, or even, you know, some overexposure to some obscure currency or sovereign debt, to actually really expose one of the balance sheets of the banks. In steps, you know, the central bank and the Treasury's new merged balance sheet, and they can decide to just allow that bank to go bust. But they don't want to be on the line for any of the insurance of your deposits. They don't want the banks to, you know, resort to bail-ins. They don't want to bail out because at the moment we've got, you know, riots in the streets over enough things. The last thing a government can do right now is tell the people, oh, by the way, you're in poverty, you're locked up, your business is going down, but we'll give a bunch of money to the banks. The appetite just won't happen. Too many people know too much stuff. And so really the only last tool that they've got once all these monetary tools disappear, which they are, is actually just bypassing the banks, letting them go bust, and then issuing a new central bank digital currency, swapping out that money that they had, the debt over leveraged money, and then you enter to really a technology-based central banking system where financial technology companies all build on top of these central bank digital currencies. Yeah, you can bypass the banking system in one fell swoop. At the same time, you've got these large organizations like the IMF calling for Bretton Woods 2. They want to have, you know, a Bretton Woods 2 moment, so they can ensure that they get they can get as many of their loans out to developing countries, so that when the repackaging happens, they get to make sure that they get a significant landmark. So it's a real global currency wars that's happening. There's several wars that are simultaneously happening at the same time. You've got trade wars, you've got currency wars, you've got inequality wars, and really the wars of the future are fought with financial weapons of mass destruction, as opposed to bombs.